بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وبعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Good day, our great educators. Good morning. So we are going to continue with our workshop on capacity building training for ASIC staff regarding to positive discipline. Our last meeting, we have the introductory part of the workshop, which is as well as the observations, how we are seeing, how we look into positive discipline, what is our own perception, what is our own understanding. So inshallah, our stint today will look into the second part of the workshop, which is understanding positive discipline. Under it we have definition. We are going to have a clear definition of a positive discipline and principles of positive discipline. Then we are going to look into the difference between positive discipline and traditional discipline. Then we compare and contrast. We see the two parts of it. We look into the negative part of traditional discipline, and then we look into how positive discipline work together. And if we can have an area that can match them together to have one single way of disciplining a child. This is related to primary student and the secondary student too. Then we are going to look into the benefit of positive discipline for students and educators. We as the educators, we that we are educating the children, we have our own benefits that we are going to gain, because most of us we didn't get this such kind of positive discipline when we were in our school. That's why we found it difficult to implement this positive discipline. And this positive is something that is there in our religion. That Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is the one that taught us what is positive discipline, because he have never hit a child, and he successfully changed the world. And at least any person that's trying to learn from the proper practices, at least he's going to go away with any traditional mode of discipline. That is positive discipline. So the positive discipline, we can define it as an educational approach designed to foster respectful. It's something that you have to know. That is something that it's a knowledge. It's a branch of knowledge. You have to study it before you implement it, before you even start doing it. It is an educational approach designed to foster respectful, constructive, and supportive relationships between teachers and students. That is what positive discipline is. You are going to discipline a child with respect and dignity, so that the child too can learn from you how to approach any situation with respect and dignity. Because what we are teaching them, the way we are relating with the children or behaving with them, that's how they will behave too with their own younger ones, or some that are or their elder brothers. So it focuses on teaching children self-discipline. The essence of positive discipline is to teach a child how to have self-discipline. Most of us, we are fighting on our even self-discipline too. We found it difficult to have a self-responsibility, to know what to do and what not to do. We are going to teach children how to have a self-discipline, responsibility, and problem solving skills. That's the essence of positive discipline. Do you get it? It focuses on teaching the children self-discipline, how to be responsible, and then teaching them problem solving skills, so they will know how to solve their own problem, not waiting for others to what to intervene. So the teaching the children self-discipline, responsibility, and solving skills rather than using punitive measure, rather than using punishment, corporate punishment, hitting and other things, or humiliating a child. So the essence of this positive skill is to what? To teach a children self-discipline, to be responsible, and have problem solving skill rather than using punitive measures to manage behavior. So there are some key points to understand in this aspect, which is 5 to 6. We have principle. There is principle of positive discipline. This principle will guide you as an educator, you as teacher, to know the direction you have to face in terms of discipline a child. Because if you don't have any guiding rules that is guiding you, you may end up doing negative or having negative results in punishing a child. Even your child that you is your own child. So number one, the key guidelines for positive discipline is what? Respect and kindness. This, even we are battling with this as an adult. We are not talking. We don't consider to be to be respectful to, or to respect the one that we are approach or we are talking with. So the key principle of this positive discipline is what? Respect and kindness. We put more emphasis on what? Mutual respect between teachers and what? Student. You as a teacher, you respect the child, as well you are thinking the child should respect you too. If you are not respecting a child, you always humiliate, insult, hit, and others. You too, you have to expect that from a child. Do you understand? Because respect and kindness is the key of positive discipline. No matter how you want to interact with a child or discipline a child, think, is this respect to me as a teacher? Will I agree on this? If someone did the same with me, should I agree, or it is okay for me? That's number one. So whatever you are doing with a child, think of respecting him, because you are expecting double respect from him. So he is learning from you. So the respect and kindness is the key for every educator to understand in times of relating with a child or learners. So educators model behavior by treating students with kindness and what? Understanding. Try to understand why a child, because we discussed a lot in that aspect last meeting. So the treating student with kindness and understanding. That's number one key guiding rules of what? Positive discipline. Secondly, understanding development. We need to understand how child are developing, because there are some stages, developmental stage, according to so many psychologists. Child is developing according to his age. We have year 0 year to year 3. Oh, that's early years. We have year 4 to year 6. We have year 7 to year 12. We have year 12 to 15, 16, 17 too. So at this you as an educator, you have to understand what is developmental stage. That's what we are going to have as our assignment, to go and make a research on it through next meeting, inshallah. Understand this development will make easier for you to understand this child. He has to behave like this because he is under this stage. Because we discussed last about adolescent stage, right? So at least by understanding the developmental stage of a child, it can make it easier for you to understand why this child is behaving like this, why this child is not behaving like this. Because if some teacher or some parent keep on complaining, patterning a child, my child is not understanding, my child is doing this. You as an educator, you have to understand what is developmental stages of a child growing. You understand? Acknowledges developmental stages of children and adolescent, tailoring discipline strategies to suit their social, emotional, and cognitive growth. So this developmental, you as an educator, you have to understand what is developmental stage of a child. Then the next one, number 3, guide rules for this positive discipline, which can guide you as a teacher to understand how to handle a child positively, is focus on solution. Don't focus on the problems, because that's what is even affecting us, we as an adult too. We always focus on what is happening, what happened last. Take for example, even an adult, the how between husband and wife, they keep on arguing with what happened last year, last 2 years, last week. That's how we did last week. Focus on solution. You as an educator always focus on solution. Don't focus on the problem that arises. Don't focus on what happened. Focus on how to solve. Focus rather than seeking to punish misbehavior. Think of how to what? Make it not happen again. You understand? That's why you may find so many, if teachers are always listening what the children are complaining to, he may feel discouraged or frustrated, right? But think of, while children are doing this, let me have this as a solution to that. It's better to acknowledge the development style of focus on solution rather than seeking to punish misbehavior. Positive discipline encourages. That is the essence of positive discipline. That is guiding rules number 4. You understand? This will encourage students to understand the impact of their action. Let them understand, why do you do this? You know what will happen to you when you do this? Let the child understand why the negative fact of his what? Deed. Always try to make a child to understand the negative results or impact of what he is doing as a bad behavior that you observe from him. That's why don't even talk to a child when you as an educator or as a teacher doesn't know the negative impact of wrongdoing. Because some teachers, if you ask them, why this child doing this, I don't want him to do. Why you don't want him to do? You have to know the reason. Or it is just you that you don't want him to do. It's your own. It's something that you don't want, but it's hard to know any negative result for him to be doing it. So try as an educator to understand, or to make a child to understand the impact of his what? Wrongdoing, and then let him identify the negative result of what he is doing. That is the guide rules number 4, which is focus on solution rather than on seeking to punish misbehavior. Positive discipline encourages students to what? Understand the impact of their action and empower them to find solution to make amends. Like this, okay, what do you want to? What do you do? For instance, a child threw paper on the ground. It's something that is on the ground. What do you want? What do you supposed to do? You call him. Why do you throw this on the ground? He said, no reason, ma. So do you know the negative impact of doing this? Instead of asking him to pick it off, ask him the negative impact of what? Throwing a trash on the ground. You understand? Then if he can identify the negative impact of this throwing trash on the ground, so then ask him to know, what do you supposed to do? Do you get it? Most of us, we just ask a child to pick it up, not allowing the children to understand the negative result of doing that. Then allow the children to think of what the right thing to do to make an amendment of their what? Wrongdoing. Do you understand? That is guideline number 4, which is focus on what? Solutions. Always think of solutions. You see, a teacher that asks them pick it up. That's what is it. But how do you see a teacher that asks the children to, why do you throw this on the ground? No reason. That is bad behavior. Let him understand that throwing something on the ground is a what? Bad behavior. That's number 1. Number two. What should be number two? When a child threw a trash on the ground, the first thing you ask him, why do you do that? Because let him understand the why. If you don't have the why, ask him what is why is the reason. He may end up saying, Ban san dalili ba. That's that. To tell him this what you did is a bad behavior. Let him understand that throwing a trash on the ground is a bad behavior. It's immoral. It's untidiness. Right? That's number one. The second one is what? Yes, by asking him to do what? Eh?
What is he supposed to do?
Yes. Yes. You say, yeah, you ask him what to do. Huh? Then let him correct himself by himself. So you ask him to what? Pick. Don't even ask him to pick up. What do you supposed to do? Let me pick up. You understand? Then the next one is what? Taking it to the trash, right? To dustbin. So the third one is ask him ask him about the negative impact of doing what he did. What do you think if you keep on throwing a trash on the ground? What do you think of that? You say the class will be too untidy, this and that. Let him identify the negative impact of it. So that is the essence of positive discipline. Positive discipline is all like some are misunderstanding what is positive is. Don't beat a child. That is not what positive discipline is all about. Because when you say positive, some may just think of not hitting a child. Do you get it? So this is another one. Then number four is encouragement over punishment. Encouragement over punishment, to go away with punishment. Always positive discipline is always encourages you not to utilize corporate punishment, not to impose negative discipline on a child by hitting, insulting, and other means. So centers on recognizing and reinforcing positive behavior instead of what? Solely responding to what? Negative action. That is the essence of the positive discipline. To overcome or to go away with a punishment, we center on recognizing and reinforcing positive behavior instead of what? Solely responding to negative action. That is the reaction of an educator to a child when something is not okay. When an educator understand immoral from a child, or misbehaviors from a child, or bad behavior from a child, instead of reacting negatively, he focus on what? He focus on what? Finding solution through encouraging over punishment. That's a critical thinking of how to handle a child, or thinking of what happened in the class that made the child misbehave and order. So number five is collaboration. You can't do it alone. Even parental nurturing, you can't do it. You collaborate with the community, with the neighbors, with the government agencies. You can't do it alone. So you as a child, as an educator, that's why you come together as a Assahabah team to think of how to handle these immorals, bad behaviors that's happening between the children of our school. That's the essence of gathering here. That's collaboration. We do it together. We have a one roadmap following how to discipline, how to make a children to be well disciplined. So collaboration involves establishing partnership with students. Here, as a teacher, you can if you come into field work, we can understand this. You have to invite the student too on how do they think. Let them think of or on how to impose positive discipline in their class. You understand? You can look for their own advice and their contributions. What is your suggestion? How do you think we can handle this situation that's happening? Too much of noises. Let the children let the children intervene. Let the children contribute. Yes, let them have their own guiding rules and regulation on how to control the noises and all other negative behavior that's happening in the class. So involves establishing partnership with students and their what? Families too. Now the student can come in terms of positive discipline, let them contribute, let us hear their own opinion on this. Then the parent too, the school need to have PTA, parent teacher association, right? Let them come together with the parent. This is what is happening in the school. How do you think we can handle this case? Let us hear your own mind. Do you get it? So the community, the families can come in. Then creating community of support in educational environment. The community too can come in. You understand? Take for instance, maybe the thieves used to come in the night, stealing so many things in the school. We found that one of the students know where, this mostly it's happening when we have when the team has their own delegate in the school. So he knows places where the school is keeping their own valuable materials. So that's how it happened too. When the school finish their own, inviting the parent, then they will go and look for the community support too. You understand? That's what collaboration is all about. Do you get it? And that is the 5 principles of positive discipline. Before I would like to listen to. Let's start from you. What do you want to say, madam? Have the mic, please. Have the mic. Yes.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
What about some kids? No matter how you try hard to persuade them to behave in a normal way, still they will still decline.
Okay, at least if you can go and understand more about these 5 principles that we just mentioned, at least you can apply any one that suits the child, because maybe you are only using one method for a child. At least if you can try and practice all these guidelines, you are going to have a positive change in that child, inshallah.
And there are individual difference. Some, the moment you enter the classroom, they behave well. And the moment you leave the class, they start misbehaving.
That is where you need to have that is the number 3 principle, which is focus on solution. Just focus more. If you focus on the problems, you may not solve the problem.
Okay.
Always focus on solution. You understand? Because you as an educator, they keep on complaining, reporting. Which case are you going to handle? But try as much as possible to at least under 10 reports, try and have a concrete solution that would last longer for so many problems.
Okay.
Do you get it? Because you have so many problems in your class, but at least pick 3 out of the 10 and have proper solution for it that will last longer in the class. At least you have any message, just read your messages that you read through what you have.
And again, about this, in some students, you have to inquire about their social background at home also.
Okay.
Because the social influence is having an impact in their educational backgrounds. So maybe a teacher has to collaborate with the parents and inquire, or the community in large, to know about the maybe social life of the kid.
Okay. Their background,
Yeah.
the way they behave at home,
Yeah.
it contributing on their behaviors in the school too.
Yeah.
That is the essence. You as an educator, you always read and make a research of what arouses immorals between a child. That's the essence of
Like,
the
for
guidance.
example, the parents of the kids that came previously to the school, inquiring to know about the behaviors of their kids. So from what we have discussed with them, it shows that the social habits of the kids at home is influencing, and their peer group influence also. And also from the parents, there are a lot of faults from the parents also, because the parents think say if they maybe send their kid to school, they leave everything for teacher.
Yes, yeah, the
So
teacher.
it shows that they doesn't have anything to do with the kid anymore.
So that's what brought us to key principle number 5, where we said collaboration. We can't do it alone. We always do it together with the parent, with the educators, with the community, and sometimes now you may even think of government intervention, right? It's a teamwork, so we can invite the police or the lawyers for so many reasons. You understand? The guidance and counseling centers and all this. That's that. So if you have watching anything what that you have to just okay.
And again, most of the parents, they leave most of their responsibilities as parents and transfer it to the teachers. The way their kids or the way their words behaves, they think it is the fault of the educators or rather the teachers
Whereby they always say charity begins
at home.
the teacher. The school is always completing what the home started.
Yes.
Yes.
And they have this kind of mentality that their kids, most of their time they spend it in school, so they have a little time to spend at home. So they will thinking whatever they do at home, they imbibe it in school. So they have this kind of mentality. I don't know.
Even them, they have their own
Flaws.
sometimes they can think that way. We can say they cannot think that way because most of their time, most of their children time is here in the school.
Yes.
But let them understand we do, even though their children they were in the school, they have to know that we are doing it together. They have to confirm what the school are doing, because know that there is no contradiction between what they are doing and what what the school is doing too. So they have to confirm, because if the parents are not following up what the children are doing in the school, is not contrary to what they are doing at home, so they are not doing their own part. So you as an educator, you have to understand when a parent come to you saying that you are the one doing it, ku ne kuke rike so a makaranta, say to ai baka zo ka ga me muke a makaranta before you say that. Wannan zato kake yi, you are just thinking. Have you confirmed that's what you are doing in school? Do you know what you are doing? Do you know what is our timetable is? Do they have time to do this and that? So always, if you are talking of discipline, each and every part should do his own part, so that we have the same face. You understand? By having the same face, we are going to have the same results too. But when the school is then doing their own and the other part are not doing their own, it's rubbish. And once the parents are doing it, the school are not doing, because some school have their own negative thinking too, thinking of mu an ka mana su mu koyar da su ne, ba ba su ba ce mu ba su tarbiyya ba. Not thinking that we are elders too. We are here to not to only teach them, because most teachers are focusing on teaching a child how to read and write only. We are only focusing on academic parts, not thinking of the other behavioral part of which is more important. Morals is more important. So at least that's the essence of each and every teacher. Whatever you are teaching a child, you have to impose discipline in it, bringing out a value. You understand? Which is more enjoyed. The children would keep on learning good behaviors in it. There's no any single subject that's not teaching good behavior. That I keep on saying boko ba yana koyar da iskanci ba, iskanci daban boko daban. Do you understand? Even if you have good boko, to you will never be an iska. You are going to be a positive contributor to a society. Do you understand? Because all all education is education. Do you understand? So at least we too, as a teacher, we have their own part of thinking that is negative, and the parents have their own too, and the community as well. And the government are not intervening in time of, because there we are lacking social centers. We are lacking guidance and counseling centers. I don't think I have never seen any guidance and counselor in any community here around North. I don't know whether the other part of the country, because by not having a guidance and counseling center, that's why we need to expect more immorals, more atrocities among our society, among our youth. So that is the essence of thinking this way. So this gathering, this meeting is not for the only school. We are doing it for the at a national level. Each and every society need this, at least. So if you have any paper to present, please go on. Okay. Yes, go on.
No, sir.
Okay.
And again, we need to, as you said earlier, we need to collaborate with the parents. The kind of peers their kids mingles with.
Okay.
So they should put eye on them. Because some parents are, I don't care. They have this kind of I don't care attitude. I don't know, maybe if it is pampered or what. They so much pamper their kids. And the ones in SS and JSS, some of them talk back to their parents when they are trying to scold them. They don't have a say on them. So we need to talk to them. They should know the kind of people their kids mingle with, because environment matters a lot.
Okay, it's true.
Because the moment they leave home, like all these government school, some of them, the moment they leave home, they don't go to school. They will just be wandering around. And you know the kind of society we are now. And again, this social media of a thing is really affecting them. Some of them have these big phones.
And they have no any restriction.
Yes.
They have no any no-go area. They
Yes.
can browse whatever they have. While their parents are not even observing what they are doing.
Yes.
Which is part of dishonest among the parent too.
Like last week on social media, there is a mom. She's passing through her daughter's room. She was now hearing the way the girl was mourning. She now back into the room. The moment she entered the room, she saw the girl. She's watching porn on her phone. She has her own room. So she was now seeking for advice on social media that what can she do, because the girl, she's addicted to it.
The question is that who gave her the phone?
The parents bought the phone for her.
Who are they asking for? Who are they asking for? The problem is they have the Arabs are saying you cannot give what you don't have. You understand? The most problem of this society is those that they are there to give, they don't have what to give, because even then they have no this parental care, discipline. So that's how they were nurturing the way they were nurtured too. So thank you for this contribution, madam. Okay, let's hear from you. Last speaker. Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Under the positive discipline, it's kind of discipline that we approach a student, not through punishment, bad punishment. Bring him into your body, mutual respect. You have to respect the student. The student has to respect you, you have to respect him back. And clear communication, expectation communication between you and your student. It's not any kind of word, insult you you say to the student. And under encouraging, to encourage students through their studies. When it is break time, you can ask students come and meet you. You can say a word and advice to it. It's not through punishment. With those words, you can, even if the student is not proper in class or is not doing his homework assignment, through that thing, send a good words to him. And problem solving, when they're having problem between students or fighting, it's not the first punishment. You don't have to punish them. Give them an advice. Say this and this, it's bad. Even in Islamic way, you have to, what are they calling it? In Islamic way, is, you know that it's bad.
Okay.
So there is benefit on it. The benefit is improved behavior within the student in the class. You see an improvement, the way they behave, even in the class, and increased motivation, better relationship between the male and females. If you say this is bad to the male and to the female, they know how to do relationship between each other in the class, and reduce conflict between two students or many class and SS1 or SS when they are doing fighting. You have to call them and talk to them. Then increase self-esteem. That is all.
Okay, thank you. Before we listen to the next speaker, let's have this positive discipline in primary schools. The positive discipline related to primary level, primary section, basic, post-basic, oh, that's post-basic, they call it post-basic. So the primary school have their own mode of positive discipline. Number one, setting clear expectation. You as a teacher, even though the school has their own guidelines and regulation, we have our own general code of conduct, classroom code of conduct. You as a teacher, personal teacher or class teacher, you have to have your own rules and regulation apart or added to what the school or the management has approved as a guide rules and regulation. What you have to is just to have a confirmation or approval from the management before you have your own personal rules and regulation. So setting clear expectation. Teachers communicate behavior expectation clearly and consistently. So we as a teacher, that's why we are always having a meeting. Let's expect, what is our expectation? That's what we discussed in the last class. We say, what are we expecting social class to do? We ask each and every class teacher to say, what is your expectation? What that behavior atrocity or your expectation from your class, you as their class teacher. So that communicate behavior expectation clearly and consistently. This might include classroom rules and regulation, classroom routine, what to do and what not to do, or thus group the class into 2 or 3. Classroom management is part of it. Classroom routine is part of it, and instill a sense of order. This is our trash. No one should throw any dust on the ground. This is a what? This is a guided rules, right? Then no one should go out without permission. All this, let you and the children understand clearly the expectation and then the consequences that might happen to those that broke this guidance and regulation. Discuss it with the children, let them understand as well too. Then the second one is proactive strategies using preventive measure. Preventive measure, what is that? Prevention is better than what? Cure. The second one is proactive strategies, thinking of what to do before it even happens. If you have the expectation of what to happen, then have the solution for what will happen before it even happens. Yes, just focus on solution. Preventive measures such as engaging lessons and interesting activities to keep students focused. Most of us as a teacher, we sat in the class without engaging children. That's why the children will behave. What are you expecting the children to do while they have nothing, they were not being told to do anything? You may say, "Ba ajina, but it's not my class." Then engage them now. We didn't ask you, it's not that you must do something with them, but you can ask them to do something, no matter how little. Don't ever sit in a class without engaging those students with something. They have so many things to do. If they don't want, they are boring with writing, ask them to think of something. Just throw a question to them, ask them to reflect. It's part of it. So you are expecting the children to keep silent while you didn't engage them. They were not doing anything. They were not being told to do anything. What are you expecting them to do? Is to be noisy, to have a noisy environment. So proactive strategy using preventive measures such as engaging lessons and interesting activity to keep students focused, reducing the occurrence of misbehavior. The second one, we have what is called SEL. SEL, social emotional learning. Social emotional learning. The social emotional learning is an integrating sales program that teach children about emotion. I think this doesn't need even writing or reading. It's something that you discuss it. Kamar surutu za ku yi da su. Ya wai ganin mutum mara tausayi, mara jin kai, shine mai kaza, shine mai kaza. This is a classroom. Most of our classes that we teach so many subjects that is more important to us, English, mathematics, chemistry, or whatever. This SEL class is more important than what we are teaching the children. Me wane ne mutumi mugu? Who is the most wicked person? Then they will keep on thinking, he's the one, then you throw their own question, then you solve the problem. You say, if you are mugu, this is the negative impact of it, and then how to go away with wickedness. This SEL, please let's go and practice it in our classroom. This social emotional learning is very, very important for primary school students and as well as the secondary student too. Throw a question that is related to emotions, like what? Like empathy, healthy relationship. What is healthy relationship? Between sex, opposite gender, between the same gender, between the same gender and between opposite gender. What is healthy relationship? What is unhealthy relationship? All these are something that can throw, and you can engage the class with it, and they will be more interested than any other subject that we may think of is good for them, because this one is teaching them how to be what? How
to be humans.
Yes, you see this SEL approach, it is very, very important in times of reducing atrocities among the youth, because most times those youthful, what they are doing, they were not been taught anything about it before. So tell me, if they have this learning SEL in their primary level, do you know what is wickedness? Do you know what is unhealthy relationship? Do you know what is tidiness? Do you know what is all these things that's related to emotions? How do you think when they reach secondary school, they have that in them? They get it. So at least let's go and practice SEL, which is social emotional learning. You can just go and browse and learn more about it. Then make a research on it, empathy and so on. At least then thereby the essence of this approach is to equip the student the skill to manage conflicts. You know, that's why even now government are thinking of putting peace and conflicts studies go crime management, and they have peace and conflict studies. Resolutions. The essence of it is to have this knowledge within each other. Kaga idan yara suna da irin wannan ilimin, ba za su samu yan sara suka, yan fada da yaki da yan irin duka wannan da irin yan sara ake cewa su ko yan shara, duk ba za a sabi go away of this. So at least let's start this approach in the primary level. tertiary institution, or even masters, peace and conflict resolution, crime management. So we can start this in primary level too by discussing it. Do you understand? Discussing it. If you have free time that you don't want to talk much, you don't want to write on the board, you don't want to read anything, then go bring out any topic on this. Then you discuss it with the children. It's part of it. Please. Even those of you that the school can ask you to please go and stay in this class and you don't want to do anything, ask them to just engage them with this, discuss it with the children. You understand? Then you can even ask them to know how can you solve this problem that's affecting the society. You can even bring Boko Haram issue, bandit issue, ISWAP issue. This what is that? La Kurwa, whatever. You can bring
and by this you can even suggest a movie of a conflict like this one's, like Hotel Rwanda. I think it may help them. Instead of them watching all those negative movies that are not allowed for them to watch.
So please, let's understand what is positive. It's a broad subject, something that is broad. Number 4 is positive reinforcement. Positive reinforcement. Recognizing and rewarding positive behavior. Any child that did maybe positive, what is positive? What is good for you as a good behavior, you can reward him. Through what? Praising, incentives, a point of system encouraging students to maintain desired behavior that you want from them. That is positive reinforcement. Then number 5 is restorative practices. Restorative. Let's say restorative. Restorative practices. Implementing restorative, that is RES TORATIVE. Implementing restorative cycles allows students to express feelings. Restorative practice is implementing restorative cycle that allows students to express feelings, confront issues together, promoting accountability and relationship building. Just ask the children to gather off, let's sit on the ground, what is our problems, let's discuss it together. Do you understand? Just have a way you can just sit outside the class. Not every time we need to sit in the class. We can go outside the class and have a cycle. Let's discuss our issue. What is our problem in the class? Sata yayawa, let's discuss it. Duka yayawa, let's discuss it. All this while, abubuwa, the issues that's happening, then you allow the children to do it by themselves. Let them do whatever they have on ground. Let them do. Keep on watching them. Don't even intervene as a teacher. You just be guiding them what to do. You understand? Let them solve their problem within themselves. You understand? They will let each and everyone has opportunity to express his own what feeling in the class. How do you feel you were treated in this class? You ya kake ganin ajin nan muna ma daidai ko ina ma abu mai kyau ko kuma su ma suna maka abu mara kyau. Kowa ya faɗa ra'ayin shi. Kowa ya faɗa abin da ke damun shi. Kowa ya faɗa abin da yake tunani za a yi a gyara matsalar. With that, I think that is restorative practices. This place confront issues together, promoting accountability and relationship together. Then that is that. Let's hear from the next speaker, please. Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Good morning to you all. So this thing that we have been discussing this morning, it really reminds me of one of my secondary school teacher that normally used to use this kind of approaches of that SEL approach, and the thing really played a vital role during our time, like asking us to find like throwing a problem for us so that we can provide a solution for that problem. because by that he can keep the class busy. And he used to hear from all of us. He used to hear all our opinions. Yes,
Yeah.
he used to hear all of our opinions, because I even remember there was a time that he asked us to discuss everything about our school, both the staff, the management, the students, who are treating you good and who are treating you bad. And if you have any suggestion for the school, you can suggest it also. So that thing really helped us during that time. And even this matter of collaboration that we have discussed under the principles of positive discipline, the thing also played a vital role during our time, because I remember our class during that time, we are so terrible. But when he was assigned as our class teacher, so we really, the class has changed to a better class, because the first thing he did is that he sat together with us. He said that we are going to implement a class rule, a class constitution. Then we implemented that constitution. He will mention an offense. Then we will be the ones to provide
the consequence for that.
the consequences and the fine for that, for the person whoever
Break the code.
break the rule. So during that time, we used to even feel shine of offensing, because we are the people that implement that rule by ourselves. So we find it, by using that principle, that's where we really get what we want. So this to really remember me this approach, because I forget it since, but now I remember this approach, and even this
So we are
problem
expecting
solving.
you to start implementing.
By God
what
grace,
you
I will
have
implement
since
this also,
you have
because
you have the experience. And
yes,
it's
I have
workable.
the
It's workable,
experience.
right?
Yes, and it
So at
works,
least
and it
you need
really
to-
works.
Good.
But I forget it now. But now I remember
Most
it.
especially that you are one of the senior teachers that you teach senior classes. I think we
Yes.
can think of Safara. Think of have at least next week. Let's have this meeting from SS1 to 3, then JS1 to 3 too. Let's send something. At least you can even merge the classes. Let's have this session at least for even 40 minutes, okay, or 1 hour. Bring out a topic to discuss with them openly, no writing, no anything. Openly, coin.
Yes,
Let's discuss
openly.
it. It's workable, inshallah.
It's workable.
Yes, and you can just think of any topic that that is related to what we discuss. Yeah. Can who's next speaker, please?
Like this.
Yeah.
At times, I used to do this with my class also. So it comes to a situation whereby even if I'm maybe delivering a lecture in the class or writing, they will just maybe pose me and ask me a question. So from there, we start discussing, and the time will go. At the end, I will say, so can we continue with our lesson? They will say, no, ma. So
they are even more
they
interested
prefer
in
the gist. Yes, they prefer
and
the
they learn
gist.
a lot because children need
Indeed.
to they want to own the class.
Yes.
Always children want to own the class.
Indeed.
Allow them to own their own class. Yeah.
Yes. And
The-
also, a teacher has to think of a solution before the problem or before something happens. Like even in our religion, the Prophet ﷺ said, Allah has never created a disease,
Without cure. Yeah.
but He provided a cure for
Before
it.
even the
So He even provided the cure before the disease.
illness. Yeah.
So this means we have to maybe think of a solution before the happening of the problem.
Yeah. Next speaker, please.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
On the positive discipline. Positive discipline is a gentle and loving approach to guide young. Another section. Positive discipline. Positive discipline is a gentle and loving approach to guiding young children behavior, focusing on teaching and nurturing rather than punishing. Use positive discipline and
Raise your voice, please.
use positive discipline. Use positive language. Speak kindly, using positive and encouraging words to foster self. encourage, encourage independence, support children in making choice and taking care of themselves.
Okay, let's good. Thank you for this contribution. Let's look into positive discipline in secondary school so that we can just run the sitting. The one positive discipline related to secondary school, please. Number one is student ownership. That's what I just mentioned. Let them own the class. Allow the children, because they are in they are the adolescent. Most of them are approaching adolescent stage. Go. They want ownership. They are at the related to hierarchy Maslow of need. They are at the which stage? Esteem. I think the esteem stage, self-esteem. Yes. So at least with that, they want to be self-esteem. So let them on the class, encouraging adolescents to take responsibility for their action. Encouraging adolescents to take responsibility for their action. For instance, involving them in creating class rules, posters, a sense of ownership. You can just, you please go and write a constitution for our class. After they have write what the constitution is, then you still choose two, apart from those that write the rules. Go and look into what they wrote and add your own. Then you can select another one. If there is any problem in what they wrote, please make the amendment. Then the last group should be the one to look for the consequences. Do you understand? Let them own the class. Whatever you want the class to do, ask the children to do is within themselves. Do you get it? Secondly is peer mentoring. Peer mentoring. Initiating peer support programs. You as a secondary school teacher, you need to initiate peer support program that allow older students to mentor younger peer. That's the essence of prefect, school prefect, class monitors, class governors, class representatives, assistant, whatever. You as the teacher, you need assistant. Please take this. You can say, you are my assistant in English. You are my assistant in geography. You are my assistant in what? You can even give him a not to write. That's part of the ownership. You can ask him to explain what you want them to learn more. You understand? After teaching, you can ask him, please come out. You are my assistant. Come and explain more, please. I'm tired. Because that's one of the what is can assist you in terms of regulating their more bad behavior. Then number 3, conflict resolution skills. Conflict resolution skills. Providing training in conflict resolution. Training. Please, this is very, very important related to our secondary school students, because most atrocities start from what? 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, adolescent stage. That's why they need this education. They need this conflict resolution skill. Providing training in conflict resolution helps students learn to address disagreements. Let them know how to address disagreement, conflict, quarreling, constructively enhancing their interpersonal skill, how they relate with one another. Because most of them, they don't have any relationship with any person at school. Also, basa fita waje a makaranta ko sai ganin mutane. To sai sa some found it difficult to interact. A ta cutan su, but they can't talk. They will end up kuma cutan waɗanda su kuma they can't talk. When the ghettos area meet with high class area, one of them will be will be treated wrongly, because there is this gap in between the lower class and the upper class too. So you as a teacher, you are trying to balance the equation. You have to bridge the gap, because that gap that they are having, they will keep on trying to implement it within themselves. You understand? So you as a teacher, you as their teacher, you are there to balance their morals. No one will see that he is over the other, is more higher than other. So this is number 3. Number 4, constructive feedback. Teachers use constructive feedback method that focus on growth and improvement rather than labeling student mistake as failure. Constructive feedback is that the way you react, you as a teacher, don't keep on try to what remember what the child did yesterday, saying tafi bani wana daga you are not the one that is wrong. You have to treat everything related to what immorals and bad behavior or wrongdoing constructively. You are a learned person, you are an educator. Whatever you are doing, try to implement what you have learned. Do you get it? Number 5 is involvement of families. Families need to be addressed. That's not only PTA meeting. Most schools they were inviting for PTA meeting when the raising of or adding school fees. If they want to increase school fees, they will invite parents for what? Overcrowd PTA meeting. But in terms of bad behavior, they were not inviting parents. So with that, let's involve the families. Engaging parents and caregivers. Do you understand? Those that appear instead of the parent. To support the school positive discipline approach at home, establishing a consistent message around behavior expectation. Please, you want your children to become like this. Don't allow the children, at least school should be sending message thoroughly, times to time, in terms of any expectation of good behavior or positive discipline that they think is workable. While the parent too need to be invited in terms of any major indiscipline that may occur in the school. At least we can invite the parent at times. Don't say, ba sai iyayen sun sani ba. Let the ear, because wanda ake those that we say no need to invite the parents from year 12 down. Anyone from year 12, 13, 14, any major misbehavior that you as a teacher observe, you have to invite the parent, know about it. Ba gaya musu ba kamar ka ci amanar. Amma daga yi idan yaro dan shekara 2-3 yayi wani abu, sometimes you may ignore it. Don't even invite the parent. Dan shekara 4, 5, 6, 7 yayi wani abu, amma da ya kai 9, 11, 12 shi ma zaka ignore. Amma da ya kai 12, 9, 12, 9, 10, 11, you think of abun fa ya fara kamari. Amma daga 13, 14, any major da kai observing from a child, you have to invite the parent. Let the parent know about it. Don't keep quiet. Please. That is that. Okay, let's listen to the next speaker, please, from the male part, so before you conclude. Okay. The next one is benefit of positive discipline that we'll discuss, which is last thing.
So, alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
So, based on the positive discipline that we are talking about, so these centers are in between the teachers as well as the parents, because it focuses on how to guide these children as well as teaching them life skills that will be like a roadmap of what they will be in the future. And all this used to happen, of which some of the parents, they used to think that these children will have all their needs and wants in the school, unlike all these good morals, values, and other basic things that's needed by an individual supposed to be at home, because family is the first agent of socialization, where the children will learn how to greet, respect, as well as table manners and other things. So we too, the teachers, we plays our vital role in impacting the life skills to these children, but we mostly focuses on the learning aspects. Let's say maybe we teach sciences, we teach arithmetics, literacies as well as morals, because all this we do impact moral behaviors to these children. But we as the teachers, we have to serve as a role model to these children, because whatever we do, their eyes are on us. So they used to be observing us, looking at the ways by which we do this, do that. So they used to copy. Sometimes they will be dragging with their parent at home, that the parent might tell them that what they are doing is wrong. They will say no, because I saw my teacher doing it. So we are role model to them. We plays a vital role in their life. So we have to be very careful in whatever we are doing. And moreover, we have to be respectful, because respect is reciprocal. So the ways by which you treat a child is the way he will retaliate. So if you are treating him with respect, he will see that at least this teacher is trying. Look at the way he is paying attention on me. He's doing this, doing that. He's trying. Let me do my best in order to pay back what he did to me, or what he is doing to me. And at the same time, we have to be calm. We have to be patient with their behaviors, because they came from different backgrounds, different homes, and we have to bear with them. And there are individual differences. You might see that there are some students that they are good at home, they are doing the right thing at home, but if they came to school, peer group influence, they used to copy from one another. So maybe he's doing good, he's good at home, he's doing the right thing, but in school he will be misbehaving. This is the peer group influence. We have to bear with it, as well as encouraging them. When a child did good, we can encourage him. And encouragement can be of any aspects. You can maybe say, mashallah, tabarakallah, what a good job, this and that. So this used to make others to envy him, that look at this one, always the teacher used to say these good words, he used to make a compliment about him. So what will I do in order to receive the same compliment, or even more than that? So this serve as a principle of positive discipline in the children. And sometimes the ways by which we take precautionary measures on children. So in terms of educational sector, there are reward and punishment. So it's not always that you will be rewarding a teacher, a student, you will be praising, doing this and that. There are some certain conditions that need punishment, even though we have positive and negative punishment. So like for example, now redirecting a child on an unwanted behavior is a positive punishment. Maybe he copied notes but he didn't copy it well, you can erase it and ask him to copy back again. So it's a positive punishment. Or maybe he did something bad. For example, the example given by Malam about throwing a trash on the floor. So you can use a method of which you would ask him to you direct him to correct his mistake by himself. So this is a very good way of adapting the positive discipline. And sometimes using natural consequences is also a good way of practicing positive discipline. And listening to the children
What
and
do you
hear
mean by
their point of
this
view.
natural method?
Huh?
What do you mean by this natural method?
Natural method or natural
it's
consequence.
like a natural consequence. Sorry, natural
Okay.
consequences.
So when we say natural consequence, the children, they don't like power struggle. For example, like the way I give an example of directing him to repeat what he did in order to correct himself. Or maybe you should ask him to stand up. Everyone is sitting. He is standing, at least he will feel shy. People will be looking at him. They will be setting him as an example that even when the teacher is in the class, you are standing till the period is over, this and that. So this kind of punishment that will not be a negative to the child. That's what I mean by the natural consequence.
Okay, thank you for this contribution. Let's look at the last stage of the agenda, which is benefits. The benefit of positive discipline. So, why this positive discipline? Because we are dealing with so many children. We are from different backgrounds. They all have their own foundation. So, take for instance, you as a parent that have 2 or 3 child in a class, you keep on shouting, "Bari, zo, kaki." Now we have more than 1,000 children. If not because of this positive, you can't deal with the children. Because this positive, you are using it directly or indirectly. We are just trying to bring it up as a knowledge of something that you need to know more. But we are using it indirectly, we may not know, because it's within ourselves. So the benefit of this, number one, is improved behavior. Really, this positive is improving their behavior. You may not see it once, but it is definitely, if you are using this positive approach on a student, they will keep on improving the way you are using the positive discipline guidelines. So at least the improved student learn to self-regulate and behave appropriately, leading to fewer disciplinary accidents. They may not be doing bad things again. Number two, better academic outcome. The academic outcome will be what? Positive always. You keep on, most of them, they will keep on what? Doing more. They will keep on improving in every their aspect of studies, mathematics, literacy, sciences, whatever. They keep on improving, because if there is a positive discipline guidelines in person, so all the children will have a better academic performance. A positive environment enhances student engagement and motivation, contributing to improve academic performance. Number three, stronger relationship. There will be less breaking of relationship. You understand? So we are going to be having stronger relationship between the children and the teacher, between the children among themselves. So building trust and respect between teachers and students lead to a more cohesive classroom environment, which is more conducive for learning. Number four, enhanced social skill. The way they communicate with one another outside the school, with their parents, with their elder brothers, with their communities too, because they keep on learning communication skills, social interaction skill. Students gain valuable life skill that help them navigate social situation and conflict effectively. So that is the four benefit of this. At least you have anyone that can suggest more. How do you see the importance of this? Let's listen to last speaker, which is Malan Zubair. Now.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum. This, well, alhamdulillah, with this workshop, we have learned so many things. We have learned a lot. So there's something I want to talk about is improve behavior. That is, I want to talk about this benefit of positive discipline. You see, let all of the teachers, just like what Malab said, you cannot be a teacher always, every time you just be in the class teaching. You have to put yourself as a guidance and counseling, because me, I'm a guidance and counseling teacher, even in my school. You see, I want to bring this issue that happened in SS1. There was a girl in SS1. Each time I'm in the school, she always come late. I reported to the former mistress. She told me that is her behavior. But when I call her, I sit her down as a counseling officer. I encourage her. With the little advice I gave her, I think she has improved. That girl is SS1. The Madam Master, she knows the girl very well. I'm sure by now she has improved. Is that not? That girl that used to come late. So she's coming, though she says she's coming from far. I say it's not an excuse. So every teacher try to encourage the habit of try to be a guidance and counseling officer. And there's one incident that happened that time we are teaching the mega. So for those of you that know the former mega school, there was a girl I'm teaching. Her name is Nafisa. Very intelligent, but all of a sudden she said she want to pick interest on the acting film, of which the parent did not encourage. They tried to stop her. She did not stick to the family advice or the parent advice. So when the parent come to the school, they have to ask me, because the girl, any problem she has used to come to me. So when this problem come, I sit her down, at least with the power of God, with the blessing of Almighty Allah. I think she has left that something now. So what I'm trying to say in this aspect that please let us not focus on teaching every time in this class. Any little behavior we see among the students, call them out, advise them. At least from there we can learn so much. Because education is not all about teaching, teach always. But there are some things, there is some training or advising we need to give to the students so that it can even make them to have a very good academic performance. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Zubair. That's the last word for today. In conclusion, positive discipline is an effective approach. Positive discipline is an effective approach to managing behavior in both primary and secondary schools by focusing on respect, responsibility, and relationship building. That's in conclusion, that is what we need to. Key point of this positive discipline is the effect of the approach is managing behavior in both primary and secondary school. Then by focusing on respect, responsibility, and what? Relationship building. Educators help students to develop essential life skills that extend beyond the classroom, not only for the class. We are doing it for the betterment of their life. Do you understand? We are not doing it for our class to be conducive, for them to be silent. Let's teach them, let them understand. No, we are there to make them identify what can bring bright to their future. Do you get it? It's for the betterment of their whole life. So ultimately, nurturing a positive school climate conducive to learning and growth. So that is the essence of this. Inshallah, we are going to stop here for this week. Till next meeting, inshallah, we look to the next agenda. If there is any contribution before we run off, any contribution, any question, anything to add, please? If there is no any addition, we say the kafaratul majlis. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نسألك اللهم ونتوب إليك جزاكم الله خيرا والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله